Hey guys, how are you? And welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I just watched Jamie Page's video of if I lost my entire collection, if everything was just lost in a fire. I hope that never happens. All my makeup collection is gone and all my eyeshadow palettes are gone. Which ones would I repurchase? And this talks about me because I'm not even thinking about a makeup artistry kit. I'm thinking about myself and the products that I would love to reach for the most. So I didn't even finish watching her video because I know I shouldn't watch the entire video and then be reminded of some palettes and just grab them. I just wanted to do this genuinely. I went to my palette drawer and looked at each of my palettes and thought, would I repurchase you? Would I repurchase you? Would I? And I wasn't convinced that I would repurchase most of them. But these five that I put here, because she did sort of a top five, I watched her first suggestion and it was as well one of mine. So if you want to see my top five palettes that I would repurchase if I would lose my entire eyeshadow collection, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I have to say before I show you my palettes that when it comes to eyeshadow, she mentioned that she wanted 5 palettes that would include everything. And if I'm being honest with myself and with you guys, I don't mind not having colorful eyeshadows. If I don't have them, the truth is I don't miss them. And the ones that I would miss, they would be oranges and pinks. Those are my shades, and maybe a burgundy, but that comes into mind when I'm choosing neutrals and just regular palettes. So I think I chose the palettes that I would actually use because I know that if I had a colorful palette and all of these, the colorful one would be the least used of them all. When I think about repurchasing my entire collection, colorful palettes are not the ones that I would purchase first, second, third, or even 20th. So yeah, I'm gonna just start. Okay, so the first one that I told you that I saw Jamie Page showing, it's the Soft Glam palette. On her video, you didn't see pan on any of the shadows. And you can see on mine that I have hit pan on 6 of the shadows of the Soft Glam palette. This rose pink color is one of my favorite shades in my entire collection. And I love this black. I love all of the shades. The one that I love the least are the first 4, but the rest of them I adore. These are good as well. It's just that Dusty Rose is not my sort of shade, and Tempera is just, I don't need this type of shade in my life, to be honest. I would be good just with translucent powder just to set my entire lid. I'm not obsessed with bone type of colors, but people love them. So I get why we have one in this palette, but I love this palette overall. I have a burgundy right here. This is a bronze shade that is just perfection. You can see it right here. It's just beautiful. It blends beautifully. It's buttery. The rose pink is perfect for bridal. So even if I had to repurchase a palette for my kit to start over, this would be a palette for my kit as well, just so that you can just have an idea of how much I love it. The second one, I'm not even gonna keep in mind that it's limited edition and that you can't get it anymore. This would be a palette that I would wanna have in my collection. And for me, since I'm in a no-buy year, and I don't wanna be sharing stuff just to make you purchase it, I'm just sharing stuff from my collection because I'm not losing my eyeshadow palettes. I'm not gonna lose them. I hope. I'm hoping that I'm never gonna lose them. So if I have to pick 5 favorites from my eyeshadow collection, I just love this one. And this is the Makeup by Mario collab with Anastasia. And I was hoping that they would make this permanent after the collab was done. I was hoping that they would come up with a sequel of it because Mario, it's a beautiful makeup artist. I'm not into KKW makeup. It's just not something that I have tried. Maybe it's amazing, but since I haven't tried it, then I do not really want to try it. Maybe if I do try it and fall in love with it, that would be a whole new story. But so far, I don't want to try it. And I know that he collabs with Kim, but I prefer a collab without her in a way. And this was just perfection. This is a makeup artistry dream. And I've hit pan, and this is a smaller size than the Soft Glam. So the ratio is even better on this one. I've hit pan in 7 shades of 12. So over half of the palette I've hit pan on, and this has every shade that I would want in an eyeshadow palette, honestly. The only thing that I would be missing here is the pink from the Soft Glam and a black if I just wanted to have one big palette. And you can see it right here. This is just beautiful. It's just perfect. The only shade that I'm not in love with is Hollywood because it's a yellow, a pale yellow color, but that would serve well to blend the other shadows. But it's just stunning, and the formula, the ABH formula is so good that this would be a definite palette. And this is a colorful palette for my type of vibe, for my eyeshadow makeup vibe. And this could be just a softer glam overall, even when you mix it with this one. And it's just beautiful. I love the shade Kim. I love the shade Paris more than anything. And I adore Isabel and Violeta or Violeta. I just love them, and I love the butteriness of the palette. And the warmer transitions that I would want, I would find them here as Orange Soda and Burnt Orange, and even Sienna and Rustic. Those are amazing. Those two palettes from Anastasia would be in my top 5, and palettes that I would just want to get back on them if I lost my entire collection. I love this palette, and I did a video, if I could only keep one in my entire collection, this would be the palette that I would keep. And I don't know if that's still true because I've fallen in love with a lot of Natasha Denona shadows and I adore them, but this is still top 5. This is still up there. I just adore this one. This is the Dolce Vita palette by Charlotte Tilbury. I have the Pillow Talk one, and I also have the Vintage Vamp. Vintage Vamp is not my favorite. Dolce Vita is beautiful, but this is still my favorite one. I adore the primer shade. I find it to be irreplaceable. I have never tried an eyeshadow that works underneath every single eyeshadow the way this one does. It's just, I don't know if I'm being crazy, but I love this as a primer of an eyeshadow look. I love the warmer or the cooler tone look that you could get with the wine reddish shade, and then the cooler tone look with the brown. And this was the palette that I used on my wedding day, and I couldn't be happier with the way that look turned out. And this topper, it's insane. It's just beautiful, and it makes everything look expensive. I adore this. I would recommend it every day, all day. If you're a person that only has a little tiny makeup bag and you want a eyeshadow palette just for every day to use, often to use as a nighttime eyeshadow palette, I would pick this one because even though it has 4 shadows, you could do different looks with it. Simple, just the topper all over your lid, black liner and mascara, just the primer and the brown in the outer corner, and all over brown smoky eye. And then you can put the topper to make it nighttime, or the reddish wine with the topper, or you could just mix and match, and it's just beautiful. I love the formula of this eyeshadow palette. You can see that I've heat pan on it as well. The topper, I don't know how I have an heat pan, but I just adore this. I adore this, and it shows. And that's the way I love my palettes to look. That's why I do project progresses anyway, to try an eyeshadow, to love it, and to really truly love it. Showing it love means to me that I will heat pan on it, or that I will use it and use it and use it time after time. Even though those palettes are neutral, I would love to have a palette with my favorite formula. Anastasia, it's a great formula. It's my top 2, but I would love to have a palette with my favorite formula with basic ass colors, and that's the Viva palette. So if I could, I know eventually I would repurchase all my Natasha Denona shadows, except maybe for the Safari one and the green brown. Not because they're not that amazing, but because I don't use them as often as these ones. But the Sunrise I would definitely repurchase, and the Tropic one I would definitely repurchase. The 5 pan palettes, the holiday ones, I would repurchase them. It's just that let's make an assumption that I only have money to buy 5 palettes, and the money will be gone. It doesn't matter how much money, it's just 5 palettes type of money. I would buy the Viva palette for sure. This is basically my most used palette from Natasha Denona. I adore it. I have to make myself not reach for it since it's not in my project progress, and I still do reach for it. I think that these eyeshadows are just perfect The thing about this, I would love for her to come up with an eyeshadow palette that has lighter shades like the ones on the Tropic palette. I love those light shades, the peachy ones, the fake tan shade that I love so much. The pinky ones, those are shades that I would just love and adore. And if you guys want, let me know if you would like to see my perfect Natasha Denona shadows by removing the shadows from the palettes that I already own from her. But this palette has this amazing black, which is the best black that I own in my collection. I love this rustic shade, and it looks a lot like the brown on this one, but this is on steroids. I love these shades. Freckle, Cocoa, Prairie, Buff. Those are my shades. Those are shades that I could use every day. If I had to choose only one palette, it would be between my Soft Glam and this one. I just think this is an investment, but it's a great investment. And I love the mattes from Natasha Denona. I love the creamy products from her, like the spot, the black one that she has here. That's just perfect for anyone. It's a foolproof type of black, and I will not say that about any other black. That just tells you something. So this is a palette that I would highly recommend, and I would definitely repurchase. And then last but not least, and it's another Natasha Denona shadow, it's the Natasha Denona Gold palette. And I was thinking and debating whether to show you this one or the Sunrise palette, which I do love. I love a ton, and it has a ton of the shades that I would definitely have if I had a smaller makeup collection. But the textures of this one, the pops of color, and just the way it attracts my makeup being completely. I love it. I love it. I think this is one of the best palettes that she has come up with. Definitely a palette that I would recommend. I love this shade. I love this shade right here. And that would be the brighter pop of color that I would have on my entire collection of 5 eyeshadow palettes. I love all of the transitions. I love the different golds. I love this shade right here. The texture of this one, the toppers. The toppers are just perfection. The duochrome right here with a hint of green and gold. Then this one right here, that's a greenish gold, and it turns and it shows a brown dark shade. I just find this is one of the best eyeshadow palettes I have ever tried. Of course, if I could add a few other stuff, I would add maybe one loose glitter and like 2 or 3 of my shimmer and glitter and glow, and that would be my entire collection of eyeshadows. So if you want to see, I'm thinking about doing a series of this. So if I would lose my entire makeup collection, top 5 of each category, let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see the Natasha Denona palette that I would make, my perfect Natasha Denona palette, stay tuned for that, for my Natasha Denona week, that it's coming up pretty soon. So that's it for this video, you guys. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, as an emoji today, leave below some emoji that shows which color you would want as an eyeshadow to keep in your collection if you lost every single eyeshadow that you own. And let me know if you want to see the series. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, because that would help me a lot. Share if you have friends, just share it with them. Share it on your Facebook. Always comment below. I always answer. I guess I'll see you on the next one, you guys. Bye bye.